What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and we won 2-1. Like we won 2-1. We didn't bottle the game. I expected us to bottle it, and we didn't. We ground it out, and look, it weren't a great performance. But John, obviously, we didn't do a watch along today, so there's going to be a lot of disappointed people with us. I get it. But how are you feeling now, mate?
Oh, listen, we're top of the league, and I thought it would have been a bit easier for us. I thought Palace would give us a tough game. Everton weren't as good as what they have been in the previous games, but as you say, we've won the game. Thought there was a bit of sloppy passing today. It wasn't as assured as other performances. Decore was guilty of giving a couple away where he tried to play the crossfield ball and it got intercepted. But listen, it's another 3 points. We're top of the league. What more can we ask? And it's not going to be pretty all the time, as I said before. Do you know what I mean? But as you've just quite rightly said there, we didn't bottle it. Last season, we're probably lucky to get a point out that game. And I always say this about mentality. It's a completely different mentality now. We ground it out. We kept going. As I say, it wasn't as an assured performance as what we've been used to. But it's another 3 points. So it shows we can win ugly as well.
Let's talk about the goals. First goal, good football. James Rodriguez plays the ball round the corner to Coleman. Coleman passes it across. Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, sort of beats it. Goes straight at Guayata, to be fair, but it goes in, makes it 1-0. Everton had been pushed back by Palace. Palace had started fairly well, first 4 or 5 minutes. Then Everton got into the game, showed that composure. Rodriguez was showing his class. Gomez getting on the ball, spraying it everywhere. I was really, really, really happy with that initial sort of period where we sort of built ourselves into the game. Then Palace, the ball comes over from a corner. It was a good corner. And Chiarte, absolute bullet header. The defending from Michael Keane, poor. Richarlison behind him, poor. It goes above Pickford. A lot of people on Twitter have criticised Pickford for that. I'm not going to criticise him. It's an absolute bullet header from 4 yards. I ain't going to hold it against him. But Michael Keane got under that ball. He got stuck. That was his mistake. And also, me and you have completely disagreed about this penalty. But Palace, we then get awarded a penalty just before half-time. Good bit of play. Ball gets sort of struck hard into the box and it hits Ward's hand just here. And his body's sort of side on. His hand is out. For me, it's harsh. However, look, I'm taking it all day. I'm not sitting there going, but for me, it's harsh. If that was given against Everton, I'd be fuming. What was your take on the goals, John?
Well, listen, the first goal, it's a good finish by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I know he hits it straight at the keeper, but he puts power on it, which probably takes it in. He sort of runs onto it and hits it first time. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think there was a stat before, I scored nearly a goal every 2 games under Ancelotti. Now, he's really grew into that position, and he's manned up. And we spoke about this before the season, did he have a purple patch? But listen, he's making us eat our words now because he's consistently scoring. And that's all you can ask, whether he scores with his head or his foot running onto shots like that, whether it's an ugly goal. He's learning where the goal is now, and I have no problems now. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets into them positions, now I can say he will score more than he'll miss or the keeper will pull a save, whereas last season, we're probably not saying that. Going on to the penalties, for me, it's handball. As I said to you at half-time, if it's given against us, we're moaning. But there was one there, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, again, could have been given against us where he hits his chest and his hands. The difference with that one is Dominic Calvert-Lewin's hands are very tight to his chest, whereas Ward's weren't. Now, the rules have changed involving handballs. For me, if we don't get it, we're moaning we haven't been given it.
Yeah.
It's one of them. We'll agree to a disagree, and there'll be a lot of people like that. Not just me and you. Is it a pen? Is it a pen? Maybe. Isn't it a pen? Maybe. It's one of them. But listen, as I also said to you before, Michael, there's going to be decisions this season that go against us like that. And they even themselves out. So listen, while we're getting given them, and it was good that we've overruled a VAR decision because we don't do that very, very much. It was nice for the referee to go and check the monitor and give us it in our favour.
Yeah.
They even themselves out over the season, Michael. And as I say, there will be decisions where we don't get them and we should, and we give penalties away, which shouldn't have been a pen, but we'll take it.
Exactly. What did you think of their goal as well, with the ball coming over and Kouyaté getting on it?
I'm with you. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter. I'm being a bit quieter on Twitter at the minute because obviously I told you before why. But Pickford should do better. But if the defenders do better, especially Michael Keane, then that pressure is on Pickford.
Yeah.
We're not in the position to argue whether it's Pickford's fault or not, because Michael Keane should do better for me. He should be up there. He should be coming for that. He's the defender. He should be being strong. He's sort of like that Coyote, whatever his name is, gets above him and it's a bullet head. And I'd blame the defence more than Pickford on that one.
Yeah, well, I do as well. I thought, the ball comes across, Kouyaté, great connection. And, you're basically asking someone to get his arm up in milliseconds. You're basically asking him. In terminology, as a big fat heifer like me, I'm not being able to do it. And Pickford probably isn't either.
I've just seen the goal again, and it'll go back to the old adage about Jordan Pickford. If his arms are bigger, he probably gets that. But listen, he hasn't got big arms. We all know that. But listen, we won the game.
Exactly. So who else impressed you today then, John?
Thought Luca Dean played well. Thought Luca Dean done really well. I was first half especially. I thought Richarlison done well. He was battling. Didn't do too much in the game. Richarlison, I thought, didn't get into them positions he has been. Didn't take as many people on as what he has been. But for his battling today, I thought he battled well. Andre Gomez, as you said, half time, had a good game. James Rodriguez, before he tired, was pinging the balls round, picking passes that no one else can see is going to happen. You know what I mean? And for me, James Rodriguez has give the players who are around him, he gives them that 10% lift. And I think this is where.
And Coleman, he's give Coleman a lift,
Yeah.
It's almost like he knows how to play with Coleman. He knows how to pull Coleman's strings. And Coleman looks a completely different player.
When you look at Baines and Pienaar, what we had down that left-hand side many years ago, they had a great understanding. That understanding now is coming with Luca Dean and Richarlison, and the understanding is also coming with Coleman and James. And it's great to have the way a lot of teams play now, Michael, is some of them play three at the back and they rely on their fullbacks pushing up and then the others drop in. But you need that understanding with the man in front of you, and it's exactly what we've got now. The same as Baines and Pienaar, but on both sides. Now it's working both sides, and it's really helping us because we can bomb up, but we've also got the likes of Allen, who bossed the midfield in the early stages, looking for the ball, made himself have loads of space with no one around him, and it calms the pressure. I thought Palace give us a good game today. They did give us a good game. They've started the season well. But that's 2 games away in London now that we've won this season already.
It's mad, actually. It's the first time that we've won 5 straight games in 85 years. And then you look at it and you go, we've got West Ham in the Cup on Wednesday, and we've got Brighton at Goodison on next weekend.
Mate, realistically, we win the Cup game. It keeps going with the confidence. Listen, the team will be much changed, but then if we beat Brighton, we go again, play Liverpool, unbeaten in 7. Now, what more of a lift do that team need to go and break the duck against that lot and get the victory over them? Because I'm telling you something right now, I've never been as confident playing them in a couple of games as what I am at the minute.
One negative, it's not a major negative, it was just a performance I didn't think was his best. Decore, I didn't think he had a great game today. He was a bit sloppy on the ball. He gives the ball away just before we concede from their goal. He tries to play a ball across the entire pitch, which is never going to happen. And he did it a couple of times. But again, I've got no concerns about it. It's just a one-off ball game.
I think me as well, and a lot of Everton fans will be able to pick bones out of that performance. There was times where it was sloppy. Decore gave the ball away a few times, But listen, we'll take that sloppiness. That was a battling win today. It wasn't a flair win. You know, as you quite rightly said, and we spoke half time, it was great to see the balls getting pinged out wide, getting the balls over and getting men into the box to get onto the end of them. But there was times there where we had to battle, and we were up for the battle today. You know, the players keep going and going and going. And yeah, they did look tired towards the end of the game, but so did Palace. You know, we give Palace a very good game at Selhurst Park today. Likewise, they give us a game. But listen, I think our flair players, our better football, our better players got us through the game.
Yeah, we've ground out a win today. And look, equally, we did have another couple of opportunities. Ball comes over from a corner. Dominic Calvert-Lewin goes with his side, with his outside of his boot rather than the inside. And he probably makes it 3-1. Yeah. There was another chance as well. Ball, Rodriguez gets in the way of Sigurdsson, who you can see stepping onto it to hit it. He plays in that little pass. Sigurdsson can't do anything. He smashes it against the Palace player, which bounces over to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And again, he just can't quite get up. But the name that I'm repeatedly saying there is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah. He's proved he's in the right positions, and he's guilty of that last season. He wasn't getting in the right positions at times at the start of last season. And the season before, and now he's looking like a complete centre forward. He's holding the ball up. He gets big, strong lads. You know, Sakho's a big lad, and he's holding the ball up, and rightly so. He's sitting top of the goal scoring charts on 6 goals after 3 games, and Everton are top of the league. Can't quite believe I'm saying it. Everton are top of the league. I'm going to print screen. You know, after 1 game, it happens. After 2 games, yeah, it happens. But Everton are unbeaten in 3. Everton are unbeaten in 3, and 2 of them have been away from home.
Yeah, in London. In London. I don't know, I keep saying the London thing, but it's a well-known fact. Everton don't win in London. But that's 2 out of 2. You know, we've got Brighton at Goodison Park. Going back to the Dominic Calvert-Lewin there, he's sort of playing up front on his own today a bit more as well. Richarlison seems out left more. But as you quite rightly say, Michael, against a big man like Sakho, he holds the ball up. In the commentary I was watching, what I did like is every time James got the ball, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was looking for the run, and he was trying to lose his man and make space behind and making himself available for the ball. That, for me, comes down to having a better midfield. And probably this is why Calvert-Lewin is showing more now than he has in the past, because it's that midfield now that's bringing the best out of him.
Yeah. And last thing I'm just going to mention, Crystal Palace, they played all right, to be fair to them. This is a team that went to Man United and won last week, so credit to us for breaking down and beating them.
Yeah,
James McCarthy in the middle of the park.
I know.
He looked like the same player that Everton had 5 years ago, you know, getting on the ball, robust, tackling, pinging balls around. I was very happy for him today. It's the first time I've seen him properly up close since he's left us. And he did look the player that we used to, you know, respect at Everton.
Before Everton bring these 3 players in, he's the sort of player we were missing last season. Do you know what I mean? But listen, he doesn't get in our team now because we've got the best midfield in the world. And there was times, I did put a tweet out early on in the game, the way we were pinging them passes, it was like watching Brazil. It was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, to get the win at the end of it, yeah, as I said before, earlier on in the video, it did get scrappy, but we've ground the result out, and that's all that matters. It's 3 points on the board. We're travelling home from London with another 3 points. We're top of the league. What more could you ask for?
You can't. Well, the only thing that I can ask for in the Super 6, I've absolutely smashed it this week.
I have a lot.
Absolutely smashed it. At one point, I was sitting on 17 points for this week. So there you go. Score prediction, Everton 2-1. So I won that one. Unlucky you. And watch along on Wednesday. Match preview for the West Ham game is on Monday. Guys, I'm really sorry I wasn't able to do the static prediction show this morning. It's just about where I am and the internet and whatever. So apologies, but that will be back to normal next week. No problem at all. However, if you wanted to know, I got all of the scores correct. Promise. Guys, I'm going to leave. What you say? What you want?
Man of the match. Did you give your man of the match?
Oh, I haven't given it yet. It's a tough one because it was a battling display.
I keep changing my mind. I said to you, you said to me, at half time, I said to you, James had played well. When we come on before, I was saying Luca Dean had a good game. You've mentioned Coleman. It is a tough one, you know. Dominic Calvert-Lewin worked his rocks off. I thought Richarlison put a shift in. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me, only because of the hard work he put in and how much he's improved as a player, Michael. So I'm going to give it to Dominic Calvert-Lewin today.
Yeah, fair dues. My man of the match, I'll give it to Richarlison for exactly the same reasons you just said. Hard working, getting back, in the 85th minute, he's tracking back, putting tackles in, helping out Luca Dean. It was a pleasure to watch today. So, guys, that is it. Thank you ever so much for watching. John, love you. Hope you're all right. And,
I'm hungry, mate.
Guys, we'll see you soon for another reaction. Peace.